Hello, everybody, and welcome to our webinar today. We will be talking about the GX feature AuditShield, and AuditShield is Readiness made simple. But before we jump in to our webinar, I did want to go through just a quick list of some of our upcoming webinars that we'll have each month throughout this year on some key topics. One of them coming up will be talking about our new feature, Intellivue, which is the website version of GX. It's kind of a light version, so the next one, that might be an important one you want to sign up for when we send that invite out. And then we also have a few others that talk about Intellivue, IntelliCloud publishing. And then we also have, for those who are premise clients, that if we have a next webinar, one of our webinars will be talking about premise, and if you were having the option of maybe wanting to move to the cloud, we're going to have a webinar talking about those details and kind of what's involved and kind of the benefits of moving to the cloud with our organization. And then another key one that might be coming up here in June would be electronic forms and the mobile version of Intellivue GX that you could use on your phone or your tablet. So those may be some key ones that you might want to jump on here in the future. And I also wanted to do a quick call out for some of those that may be joining if you're part of the Ohio County Board of Developmental Disability Boards, that we'll have a few webinars that are coming up specific for your organization that would be introducing you to some of our new software that we have coming out. One would be our IntelliCloud Incident Case Management System. And this is kind of around providers and MUI reports and incident reporting. We have a new system that we're kind of putting together for that. And then another one around IntelliCloud electronic visit verifications, that's in that same realm. And another one coming up for special programs for agency and independent providers. So just wanted to mention that. So be on the lookout for when we have those emails coming through if you want to sign up for those. But today we're going to be focusing on if you have an audit coming up and how to help search for missing documents within Intellivue GX. And that feature in GX is called AuditShield. It's a comprehensive reporting engine within Intellivue that enables companies to easily identify any missing documents. It makes document audits a breeze by identifying those missing documents before auditors arrive, allows you to have time to locate those missing documents and place them into where you need them before that audit, and it reduces stress and providing peace of mind. This allows you to stay focused on other day-to-day activities. So in today's lessons, we are going to learn with AuditShield how to create an audit policy. This will allow you to kind of set the parameters on what you're auditing and what types of missing documents you're trying to locate. We'll learn how to, once you create those audit policies, how to run them. And then once you've run those reports and how to export those out of the system. And if you need to share those with anybody who would maybe be in charge of locating those missing documents and helping get them back into the Intellivue system. And once we go through this and I finish going through the demo, we will have a Q&A session at the end of this. So we will then be able to unmute the broadcast. And then if any of you have questions or anything else that you want to show regarding AuditShield, we will do that here once we go through the demo. So let's jump right into that. So in Intellivue GX, to get to the AuditShield feature, it's going to be located up here under the Tools section in the top left-hand corner of the GX menu. And then I'm going to go down to the feature, AuditShield. When this pops up, your main tab that you're going to start focusing on is the policy editor. This is where you would build your custom auditing policies to locate those missing documents and to build those parameters for those types of missing documents you want to locate. So I'm going to first, depending on the access that you have to GX and the applications, you're first going to select the application you would want to build a policy in. So from my list here, I'm going to start with an example of human resources. but I will go through and show you a few others that may pertain to your organization today. So once I'm in my human resources, it's then going to automatically load the folder details and document level details document fields for that application. So I can see over here in the bottom on the left side in my check set area, this is where you're going to set up kind of your general scope of maybe what type of folder you would want to be searching in. So let's go, for example, in this one, I want to be searching across all employees that have a status of active. So I'm going to select that folder index header, and then it'll expand it. And then if it's a drop-down value, you can select that option. Or for example, if it's a name value that you want to put a name in there, you just type in your search parameters in there. So once I have my general check side, my scope of what I'm searching within, then the next step is to come over to the right side. And then this is really where you're going to go down to your document level. And you're going to search for those specific document types that are missing that you want to locate, or locate which person has those missing document types. So in this example, if I click on document type here on the header, I want to search in Human Resources application and locate any missing I-9 forms. So I'll simply check the I-9. If you have more that you want to search on, you can click a couple if there's several document types you want to locate. But let's start with I-9 in this simple example. Once I've set up my audit policy rule, I'm going to click Add here. So then it adds my rule. And then to save the policy, I need to give it a name. So in this policy name dropdown where it says New, I'll just highlight that area and then type in the name I want to give the policy. And then if you would like to give the policy a description, you can type it into this bottom section. Once you have this all set, click on your Save Policy, and that policy is now saved per that application. If you need to come back in and modify that policy, you can simply select it from this policy drop-down list and then go through and modify or change your search parameters or the missing types of documents you were searching for, and then just click Modify and Save, and then it'll update those changes. Once you've set your policy up, and if you have more to set up, this would be your time to simply click your New and then start all over again and then begin the next policy you want to create. So once it's created, the next time you come in, or if you have other people if you're the builder and then you have other people that will be running that audit policy you create, when you run the policy, that's going to occur from the Audit Report tab that's here to the right of the Policy Editor tab. So when I click this, the main section I'll start with is I'll click on Select Policy, and this is where you can then go to locate within that application the policy that you've created or the policy that you would like to run. So let's say we want to run that sample I-9 one that we created. So when I select it, I'm going to go down here to the bottom of the window and click Run. And then this is going to pull back the results and show, the first bar it's going to show is the folder level. And then it's going to show the document, that it has a document type that is missing. So if I had multiple results, it would show a bar for each person that has this missing type of document. When you have this report and it's run, and say you want to export off the details and share it with somebody that you might make the person to be in charge of then making sure all the rest of those documents come in when the auditor's coming in to check on those documents. To export those results, up here, there's a little green arrow that says export report. So if I click that, I'm given an option if I want it to be a text file or if I want it to be a CSV file or an XML file. So select whichever option you prefer. Then in this export section, just click this little ellipsis here. And then this is where you can then navigate to where you would like to save that policy result, and you can give it a name. And this could be where maybe you're emailing this result to someone who you want to do it. And I'll click save, and then just click OK. And then your results will then get exported to the location that you saved it to. So here's my missing report. And it's going to have a similar look to the results where it lists the folder and then letting you know which folders. So if you have multiple folders, multiple files that you were searching on to see what was missing, it will tell you which one is missing. So that's kind of the workflow of how the policy editor works when you're creating a new one and then running the report and if you needed to export it. I also want to show a few other types of policies that you can create based on maybe the organization you're with. So let's say maybe you have a series of consumers if you happen to be with the County Board of Developmental Disabilities. So from this consumer files, one of the policies we have set up over here is what if I need to locate all the missing ISP forms. So I'm going to click on this policy, and then I'm going to then review the details of my scope. So there's nothing really set on the side over here because you want to search in all of the folders. And this one we have it set to search for all missing ISP forms in this service delivery. And then there's a couple additional ones for the medical documents of counseling form and dental form. And so this is kind of general. So it's going to search across all years for the ISP. If you wanted to narrow your results down, you can also include a year. So say maybe you wanted to search for any ISPs that are missing for 2018, you could put that year in there and then modify that rule so you have that new scope criteria. So then you're searching for any missing IPs within the year of 2018. And then just click that to save the policy. If I come over here to my audit report to run that policy, I'm going to come over here to my select policy option, and then under consumer files, I will select that policy that's been created and then run it. And I can see we have one consumer that's come back, and then they're missing all three of those forms. So then this notifies me that for this folder, these three forms I need to locate and add. Another example of a different audit report, let's say if maybe you have some patient records and maybe you wanted to locate any missing consent forms from your patients. And then we're going to have a similar simple setup of we want to search across all patient types. And then in our audit set side on the right, we're then searching for the document type of general consent form. So when I go over to my audit report to run this type of policy, I'll go through the same steps as before. And then this will show me that I've got 3 patients that are missing that document type of general consent form. So once you kind of get the hang of the policy editor, and then if there's maybe specific types of things that you need help setting up after this webinar that we have here, and I'll give you the contact that you have so we can help you get those set up if there's specific criteria that you're trying to search for, if these examples we're giving aren't able to kind of help you figure out what you need to do. You do have some options for this area if you have more results than my examples that I have here. If I click options, I can expand how many folders I display. So you can increase this to how many. So if you wanted to see 15 folders at a time, just click OK. And then the next time you run that policy, you will have a larger amount of results displayed here. Go back to our PowerPoint. So just to recap, everything that I've shown on that demo is I showed how to create an audit policy. And then once that policy is created, how to run it, and then how to identify those missing documents. And then once you've run your search, then how to export those results to then share if it's you or if there's another person who would be helping you with the getting those missing documents into the system before an audit. And now we're going to open it up that if anybody has any questions. And then if we have the audio put on, anybody's welcome to ask questions at this time. And I can circle back to anything if you were unsure about a section. And you're also free to use the chat window. That's part of your GoToWebinar. There's a little chat window there. You can type your question in there as well. And if anybody's having issues getting the audio through, you may need to unmute yourself either from your phone or if there's an unmute button within that GoToWebinar on the audio piece. And if you go to the, you can easily, you would just uncheck that icon for to unmute yourself. And if you're maybe having issues with the audio, or if you did have questions but maybe didn't want to ask them at this time, you can also contact us at support@intellnetics.com, our customer success team, or you can call in at 614-921-8170, and we can answer your questions directly if you'd rather do that versus doing it over this webinar, whatever you're comfortable with. Okay, everybody. If there's no other questions, then that will conclude today's um, customer webinar series on AuditShield. And then be on the lookout for some of those future ones we'll have coming up next month, and then some of the other specific ones for the County Board of DDs. But if you have any questions about any piece of the software or any feature that you have questions about, please contact us at support@intellnetics.com, or you can call us directly via our phone at 614-921-8170. Thank you, everybody, for joining, and have a great rest of your day.